Welcome to Secret Identity. Today, I am Eden Crow. I am your host, your friendly neighborhood. I was wrong about this show, Spider Troy Bond. With me is not the guy in the chair, the one who had the spider senses to know this show was going to be great.
What's up? Brent Birnbaum here, on the record, calling the show, being great. You said I was crazy.
I did say that, and I was not the only one. Slater Harrison also said it too.
Oh, okay, what a great intro. Bringing me down with you on this drowning fucking boat.
I can't go down
Save
alone
us,
on this. Yeah, that was, listen, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, we watched the trailer together when it came out. We both said, that looks rough. I will go on record as saying, this is a top 3 Spider-Man show of all time.
Oh, yeah, we made a clip and put it on our Instagram. So if I was wrong, the receipts would have been there.
Yeah, but you were right.
And then you put a poll on the Instagram. It was like, how many people think this is going to be good? And you all of you true believers said it was going to be bad.
How does it feel to be right about this?
It feels amazing. It's never happened before.
Well, I should say I was wary about it. Then I watched the first 2 episodes and I said, this is actually surprisingly really good. And then we watched all 3 episodes last week, and then Brent went home and he was like, we got to do an episode about this. Saw him like 3-4 days later. I was like, yeah, I'm catching up. He's like, I'm caught up, baby. And I was like, this is certified.
Did you watch it all the way through once, Brent, or twice?
No, I only watched it through once. But yeah,
I might watch it again. It was good.
It was so freaking good.
I didn't watch X-Men twice, but I might watch this twice. And the whole time I was watching, I said, Brent said this was the team behind X-97. That's why this is so good. And your friendly neighborhood.
Brad Winterbaum, yeah. So it wasn't like Bo DeMeo who did X-97.
He don't work no more, Shrek.
That's true. That's why X-97 season 2 is probably going to suck.
Yeah, it's probably going to be bad, Shrek. Cyclops probably going to get the Phoenix Force, Shrek. Just like he did in Secret Wars.
Guys, I think we are in a new golden era of comic book animation.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you think about the shit that's being put out there right now, X-97, the Spidey show, Invincible. And that new Batman show with Bruce Timm, Cape Crusader.
I have not seen it yet. I am going to watch it now after watching this.
It's really good. It's not the animated series. It's not quite as good, but it's a very cool subversion of what they've done before.
Okay, now we trust every opinion you have.
Yeah, let us know in the
We're
comments
like, Brent, tell us everything. You are God. I'm Lord. Yeah.
I got one word for you guys: abstinence.
It helps you think clearly.
He's shooting webs into a Kleenex. I think why the Cape Crusader show had a hard time with fans because it was always being compared to the animated series, which is an impossible task to do. Young Justice was very good because they weren't comparing it to the Justice League. This show, I think, stands out because there's not really like a animated series comparison to a Spider-Man show. You have the 90s show, which is like, okay, I like it for nostalgia reasons, but it's not that good.
No.
I like the Ultimate Spider-Man show that came out, mainly because a lot of the plot points in it were adapted from Dan Slott books, even though a lot of fans didn't like it. Or Marvel Spider-Man I liked. Ultimate Spider-Man was the Drake Bell one. I didn't like that one that much. That was not very good. And the Neil Patrick...
the one with Spider-Man's a predator.
Spider-Man's a predator, and he only speaks Spanish for some reason. Probably because he can't work in New York anymore.
That's such a deep cut.
His name is Peter Campagna. You know that about Drake Bell?
No.
Drake Bell can't work in the States anymore, so he moved to Mexico and he goes by Drake Campagna because he was a predator and did some shady stuff. But then Quiet on Set came out and he's not a predator anymore.
Yeah, it's true. It's terrible what happened to him, but he still did what he did.
You're repeating the pattern.
Exactly.
Dude.
Hurt people hurt people.
With great power comes great statutory.
He's Drake
Campagna.
I'm sure Josh Peck loves answering those questions.
Josh Peck is probably he's like, I gotta put my Ozempic on. I gotta
dude is hot, man.
Josh Peck had a great line that cracked me up. He was like, I was your classic child actor. I was on everything except skates. And I was like, that's a great line.
That is a great line.
That's such a good line.
Yeah.
He's surprisingly really funny on his own.
Oh, yeah. Even after he lost the weight?
Yeah.
You're really harping on the weight.
He was fat.
Because usually fat people are funny.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen, not as funny anymore. Great actor.
Yeah, makes a hell of a pot.
Yeah, and then he was in that Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson.
He was, yeah. He plays a bad dude in that.
Yeah, he was really good at that.
Yeah.
Was he the guy who took the tape?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, because fucking Tommy was being a dick to him, and he was like, well,
Yeah,
I'm going to steal all your stuff. He didn't know it was on the tape,
Him and Nick Offerman.
Yeah, he had to wait. He had to wait until it, he put it in a VCR and hit play. So he didn't know what he was taking.
Yeah, but he still sold it.
It might have been labeled
Yeah.
though. Like,
Well, Seth Rogen even
fuck
said that. He's like, this is a bad guy that I'm playing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not defending this dude. All right, we're not talking about Seth Rogen.
Speaking
here
of good guys, what characters are in your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man? I think we'll go into the character and that'll leave us open for discussion.
I love it.
Ooh, I'm excited, Brian.
First off, we have Peter Parker Spider-Man. He is a teenager who acquired his spider-like abilities, strives to balance responsibilities as a high school student, and a budding superhero. Very similar to the Spider-Man we see in the MCU, except for one major change. Instead of Tony Stark being his mentor, it is Norman Osborn, a genius industrialist who takes Peter under his wing, offering him mentorship and resources. It's a divergence from his traditional villainous role because we don't see him as the Green Goblin yet.
So he wears all green on green on green.
And his motives are not altruistic.
No, I loved that episode where he did the great power line and he said comes with great respect.
Yeah.
Said, oh, that ain't the line, Norman.
And they start playing Aretha in the background.
Yeah. What you want? Maybe I got R-E-S-P-C-T. Find out what it means to me. My son might be gay. I'm not really
What
sure.
you need, you know, I forgot it.
TCP.
I'm not even on the show. How could I forget Harley Quinn? That's another great animated show out right now.
Animated show.
Very
I love
good.
Dr. Chaos.
They say we're the new Nick Cage and Ben Mendelsohn.
That is what they've been saying. Yeah, that's him right there. He comes around right here with Coleman Domingo.
You merely adopted the dark.
I was born. I am dark.
No, that's Venom.
This character was race swapped. I said Al Pacino should be, or Slater was like, you should do Al Pacino as Venom. He's like, hey, we're Venom. Oh, yeah. That's because she has Gwen Stacy. Where's Carnage? Where's Carnage? You look at Clay's, we like brains and chocolate, because chocolate and brains got the same chemical in it.
Nice Spidey.
Yeah, I like Spidey. Look at him, nice Spidey.
It would be funny if when he was Eddie Brock, he was like old Pacino, and then in the suit, he's like, hey, and never go against the family,
God,
Peter.
I'm asking you one thing, God. I want you. There's Peter Parker. I want you to take him out of the picture. You're gonna whack him. He's not good to God. I don't ask you for a lot, God. I said, please don't make a Godfather 4. You did a good job on that one. I appreciate you. One more favor, God. One more favor. I want Devil's Advocate 2. 2 more favors.
Electric Boogaloo.
Spider-Man. Electric Boogaloo. Devil's Advocate 2. Electric Boogaloo. Nice horsey. A gun you run. A knife you charge. Gun you run. Knife you charge. Yeah.
I need
that. I need him.
I need it.
Suit.
Yeah. Well, I think
the last one sounded like Denzel, the laugh.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Pete, you know I'm surgical with this shit, Pete. You think I'll put this all intern program for, Pete? Y'all motherfuckers will be doing science projects in Midtown High.
Oh, wow.
Oh, excellent.
Like wet, Pete.
Next up, we have Harry. He's Peter's best friend, Norman's son. He's a social media influencer.
Also wearing green.
The
The Osborn family can only afford one thread of color.
He had many renditions before they landed on what he looked like. Did you see it in the post credits?
Because he looks like the original Harry, like just race swapped, and then they gave him like the better look.
Norman too. Norman with the waves.
Yeah.
Which I was so glad they incorporated it because, like, in the comics, that's how Norman's hair always looked.
Oh,
and they always said Norman Osborn got waves, and now they made him black, which I thought was so cool. I was like,
he was dope.
Yeah,
Coleman Domingo crushed it.
I didn't even know it was Coleman Domingo until you said something, and then I was like, there's no way that's Coleman Domingo. In every single episode, I'm like, this guy, fuck.
Well, because they asked him about replacing
Defoe?
Not Defoe. What's his face? Kang.
Oh, really?
Majors, yeah. And he was like, no, I want to do something different. I'm going to do my own thing.
That's smart. You don't want to take over someone else's role in a situation. Like a guy like Coleman doesn't have to do that because then they're just going to always compare it. I always have said I think Marvel probably kicks themselves every single day for that post-credit scene in Ant-Man where every version of Kang was Jonathan Majors. They have to hate themselves for doing
They're
that.
like, we could have had just like one.
One of them could have been it. Yeah, John Krasinski was Reed Richards and Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards. How many Lokis were there? But they were like, for Kang, let's just put Jonathan Majors to work for 12
Oh, that's right. They had Richard E. Grant as Loki.
Yeah, he was, and then what's her name? Sylvie was Loki.
Oh,
You had alligator Loki, motherfucking crocodile Loki,
Crocodile on
Loki on a cob.
Anything on a cob,
I fucking love Loki. Loki, I fuck with Loki. Loki's good. You fucking lead a retirement. They're gonna fucking Red Skull be the villain, and then they did a fucking screen test with Loki and Thor. They said he gotta be the main fucking character there. He's all right. That's why fucking Red Skull didn't die at the end of Captain America 1.
Loki, I'm an orphan now. You can't be an orphan and
I met this guy.
That's it. That is the raspberry.
I met this guy. I'm Mookie now. So the other day I was in Valhalla, right? And then my wife, she said she took her vagina out and had it in the sink. And she said, when you're done with it, just rinse it out.
Make sure you
I'm
soak
Super
it.
Spider. I'm Super Dave Banner.
Oh, wow.
It's full of deep cuts.
Yeah,
I know.
Damn.
Who? So you got
Super
Harry-
Dave Osborne.
Yeah, Super Dave Osborne. Hey, Peter, I'm going to build this portal technology. We're going to see something that's probably Venom.
My dad would love that reference if he watched this podcast.
Oh.
Mine would not because he doesn't watch it.
I'll make my dad start. We'll have one dad supporting us.
Oh, yeah. He's the dad.
At least
of the
get my
pod.
daddy to watch it.
Out of all the
Yeah.
dads who saw us live, yours was the only one.
He was the one.
You can see the three of us live March 21st at Broadway Comedy Club. I don't even think I told Brent he was on that show.
Oh, fuck yeah. Nice.
But March 21st, Broadway Comedy Club. The Trinity and me. Get your tickets below. Continue.
Dude, there's like a big poster of you at Broadway. Like,
Yeah.
it's like legit.
Yeah. Hey, I'm throwing that up the other day.
They're hanging up new stuff. They used to just have like Rosie O'Donnell for so long.
Rosie O'Donnell, Tracy Morgan, Carrot Top, and
Yeah.
fucking Robert Klein.
Was Roseanne on there at one point or no?
No.
I won't lie. I kind of nerded out when I saw the Robert Klein one. Actually.
I liked the
I was
Robert-
like,
No,
that's
that's
pretty
nice.
cool.
I like that Pete Davidson is still in the bathroom and all it says is "Thank you, Pete."
Yeah, there's
That's
a
true.
poster. Well, I was at the show. It was Pete, Ricky Velez, Matt Rife, and someone else who was on it. I saw them put that in the bathroom, and I was like, wow, I'm getting old.
Yeah, well, no, it's good because it's right where they belong. You know, just pissing on them.
Oh, boy.
Wait.
Pete and his no tattoos, little fucking newborn. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
we got rid of all of them.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
like,
Brett's
dig
like,
the
yeah, I
hole.
saw it. I did more than see it. He's like a naked Ninja Turtle now. Anyway, I didn't even notice you were wearing Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's Pete right there.
I don't know what you know about me, but I'm a motherfucking TMNT.
Wonder if Twin Powers
I knew
accurate.
I knew this man was picking up what I was putting down.
I couldn't get it because that was the furthest off 50 Cent I've ever heard in my life. That was Curtis. That wasn't 50.
Oh, die try. I would never respond to Nick Cannon.
I'll take you to the candy shop.
Oh, that was one of the best Boondocks episodes.
Or die try. I'm gonna open this portal to space or die try. Who else? Who else is of value? I always love your character breakdowns because
you.
it's always
Those are the
order of
values.
importance. Value.
Well, I always ask ChatGPT. I'm like, who are the main characters? They always give me either characters.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, they'll give me characters that had nothing to do with the story, or characters from like a different publisher.
Steve Ditko was Peter Parker. That was another thing I liked about Peter's design. It was very all the designs were
Ditko-esque.
very much Ditko, and I liked that because like those designs. Although I would love to see Tom Holland in a yellow sweatshirt and the blue jacket like the '90s show. I don't think a lot of it translates in live action, and animation is the perfect medium for it. And I think that's why animation is kind of killing it right now. To your point of like we're in a golden age of animation, it's kind of like our impetus for starting this pod where we were like, there's so many movies out, it's all starting to kind of look the same. There's a plethora of source material that they're pulling inspiration
that's a
from
word.
the comics. Plethora.
Plethora.
Here's a 10. Give me 5 back.
Oh, plethora.
Put it in the big word jar.
I think like Creature Commandos, which is one I have to dive into. I watched the first two. That was really good.
I gotta
Harley
watch that
Quinn,
too, yeah.
Spider-Man, the Cape Crusader. Like, there's a lot of ideas that don't work live action, i.e. Corey Stoll, MODOK, for example.
Right.
Does not work, but MODOK is a really cool character. There's just a lot of stuff on page that doesn't work on screen, but can work on the small screen in animation. And I think that they need to put full steam ahead in animation and video games right now because the live action will always, that should serve as the conduit thing that's there that makes people go home and be like, oh, I got to go buy like 500 comic books and I got to buy this video game because I just want to be immersed in the world. It's something you could hold. It's something you own. And then you start to look at the movie as like okay, that's nice, but like, there's like, look at this omnibus I have,
Yeah.
like, King in Black or something.
Well, it's a great transition, actually, to our next character because Nico Minoru, who's Peter's best friend in the show, has nothing to do with Peter in the comics. And I'm sure someone will call me out and say, well, in recent comics, they're actually friends. But Nico Minoru is one of the Runaways.
So I was going to ask you a
Yeah.
question about that. Tell me about Nico. I don't know anything about
I really don't know much about the Runaways. It was a storyline that ran in the early 2000s. It was much beloved. It was all about these kind of young superheroes that come together. They're all the children of famous superheroes, but it turns out their parents are actually villains, and they have to take them down, and they're all part of this cult, and they're trying to summon a monster. You ever see Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah.
Kind of
Action.
like, yeah, it's like kind of like that, how they're trying to like summon that kind of monster. And so Nico is one of those characters. She's a Wiccan who has mystical powers. And so The Runaways was a show on Hulu, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds familiar. And then she was like summoning her mom at the end with that purple stone.
So she actually does have powers.
Figure it out. Yeah, okay.
She's like Raven.
Sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know who was in the original Runaways on Hulu was the actor who played Victor in The Penguin.
Oh, wow.
Wait, what?
So The Runaways was originally a live-action series. Well, originally it was a comic, then it was a live-action series on Hulu. Got canceled. Now, like, Nico got adopted. She got
Oh, that's sad because she lives in a foster home.
yeah, I know. Oh, wow, you're right.
She got adopted. Scratch
She did
that.
not get adopted.
She did not.
She is not taken.
She ended up in a group home, and we saw what happens there. I watched The Wire. Oh, Randy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Randy.
Oh, God, yeah.
To your point though, with the colors though, there was so much like yellow and blue. It was so vibrant. He's wearing yellow and blue. Then
Yeah.
Pearl's in yellow, and Nico's in blue. Well, she's got the blue hair and stuff.
Yeah,
blue
she
lipstick,
blue,
whatever.
It's bright.
Yeah. Pearl. Do we know? Well, is Pearl next on your character list?
Next is Aunt May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I actually, I didn't include Pearl on this, but
Yo, because like she just came out of nowhere too. Because there's no Mary Jane. Is she like the substitute?
I think. Well, they said Gwen's coming in next season.
Okay.
They did?
Yeah.
Did I not say that?
Yeah.
I was
Well,
like,
they set it up perfectly, but we'll get into that.
But yeah, I don't know Pearl from the comics. I think she's a new character.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, they stayed true to the story, but they added like their own flair to this, which is why I really liked
That
it.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
And that's what that Batman show does. It's a subversion of what came before, except with this next character, Aunt May, who's basically exactly how she's always been.
She's hot in this
She's
one,
hot.
though.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times Aunt May's hot.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
She was cool. It was. This show was MCU adjacent, but not MCU reliant, and I
Yes.
think that worked very, very well for this.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. Let's find that timestamp because that's a clip.
Well, I think everybody knows the story of Spider-Man. You don't need to. I think we're done with the Spider-Man Batman origin stories in media now, and everyone. The MCU is sort of in the zeitgeist now, so it wouldn't make a lot of sense for. I think this show was originally called Spider-Man Freshman Year, and then they canceled it, and then they brought it back, and then they reworked it to Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
You're 100% right.
And I think it works with them making it MCU adjacent because people are familiar with MCU. They're familiar with the events like the Sokovia Accords. They know the relationship between Tony and Tom Holland. And I thought that they did a perfect like this when they showed the hangar from Civil War. I was like, oh, I see what they're doing. This is brilliant how they did this because I don't have to go through like, where's Iron Man in this story? Where's Cap in this story? Because that's sort of the problem people had with the Insomniac Spider-Man games. Was they were like, Spider-Man's taking on Venom, he's taking on Kraven, all these people. Where are the Avengers? Avengers Tower's in the game. You don't see any other superheroes in the game. This solves that problem, explaining to why there's no other superheroes here. And this is what the show did so well was Spider-Man being street level, meaning he's people level, where he doesn't have to take on, even like at the end when you see the space portal, I was kind of jarred, but then I remember like, oh yeah, Spider-Man's been in space like 3 times in the last like 10 years, and that never used to happen. I was kind of cool to like be like, oh, he's been on the street this whole time. He had a run-in with Daredevil this whole time, which was very cool.
Well, you make such a great point about how it's MCU related but not reliant. It's basically it takes the Civil War story, but that's divergence. Instead of Tony coming in, it's Norman coming in. It's just like this new Scott Pilgrim show that came out on Netflix 2 years ago, which basically takes the original Scott Pilgrim storyline up until the first fight with Matthew Patel, but then asks the question, what happens if Scott loses? And so then Ramona becomes the main character, and you get like a total remix of the original story. This is what we're getting with that Spider-Man show.
Put a woman in it and make her gay.
The Pandaverse.
Yeah, they really did hit all the notes in this.
She's
But
stepping
not
down,
in an
Kathleen
annoying
Kennedy.
level.
Yeah. Whew.
Oh my God.
I can't say that, but I'm so glad Dave Filoni is taking over, but I will miss Kathleen Kennedy. I thought she did a great job as a producer before 2015. Sorry. I won't say anything. What I just said.
I feel like you're doing ASMR right now.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm doing Kathleen Kennedy had no business running Lucasfilm. George Lucas.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry. You speak up.
I'm very glad Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau got
Can you hear what he's saying?
Who else we got? Who else?
I love this next character, Lonnie Lincoln.
So you called it right away. You said that's Tombstone. I didn't even know. Brian, I don't think people understand like how much of a Spider-Man encyclopedia this man is. You've read you've read from like 1 to you read all the amazing.
It's like the only character I've ever done that with, where I basically read every amazing issue from like 62 to 2000.
Probably the best
1962 to
best
2000.
character, best run to do that with because there's just so much greatness. Even when we're
With
doing
Lonnie?
no, he read.
But he's part of it, yeah.
Lonnie was part of it when he was Tombstone. But Brent has read from the 60s to 2000, that entire amazing run. What is that, like 480 issues?
Something like that, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Probably 2006, up until when he takes off the mask.
That's right.
In Civil
Yeah.
War, I read all of that. Then
Yeah.
they did a bunch of stupid shit after it.
Yeah, one more day. And
You're
all
like, I
that.
don't have time for that. I mean, now I'm 30. Holy shit, how did this happen? I started at 3.
I'm 15, I'll live for...
Tombstone has powers.
15, there's still time for you. Time to love. Sorry.
What's going on the album?
Oh, it is.
I was like, I just want to make sure I press record.
Yeah,
Can you imagine?
We're recording.
Tombstone has powers. Is that what that Oz thing is?
Yeah, so in the comics, he originally didn't have powers, and then he eventually does get it with this gas. I'd forgotten about that. But it's because Tombstone's whole thing is he's albino. He's a black albino, but he is albino, and they're alluding to that near the
At the end with the skin.
Yeah, we saw that. We're like, his black's coming off.
Yeah. Big Don ran out like a bitch.
Oh, dude, fuck that guy.
Dude, that was so messed up.
That guy is always a punk.
His whole point was loyalty, and then the first chance of danger, he's like, "I'm out. Fuck this shit." Like, what a coward.
You know who that guy was in the MCU?
No.
He was the lawyer for like Fisk and like and from Luke Cage. Remember the like evil lawyer? Like
yeah.
He's just that guy. He's just like he's just he sucks.
Oh man, that's nothing.
Yeah, I don't. He sucked. He couldn't even fight, and he was a big dude.
Yeah, I know.
He
Yeah.
was getting his ass beat.
Scorpion handed it to
Scorpion
him.
was
Scorpion,
all
yeah.
up on his ass.
When he's like, I give up.
yeah, and then he's like, too late, bitch. And then Spider-Man high schooler had to fucking save him. That was sad.
One of the biggest.
As in pathetic.
It was sad, and like this show made me realize how much I was talking to Slayer about this earlier. Like they did nothing with Scorpion in the MCU, and this showed you that he's a force to be reckoned with. And they could have done something really cool
Because they have a great fucking actor playing him, Michael Mondo.
Yeah,
Not Joe.
Better
Call Saul. Yeah.
And even though they made him look like all the clones in the Clone Wars show in this show, I thought he was terrifying.
He was great. Why do you
Yeah.
have 2 different color eyes? Was that just like a aesthetic choice?
Yeah,
I think
Like
so.
just a random creative decision?
Yeah,
And they
Like a
allude,
red
they allude to his
and
origins
yellow eye.
too. They talk about how he was a private eye before he became a gangster, which Matt Gargan was.
Private eye.
did Jonah put him in the suit at one point?
Jonah really should have gone to prison. Jonah did a lot of evil shit in early Spider-Man.
What did Jonah do to Scorpion exactly?
He wanted to create a guy who could take down Spider-Man because he hated him so. So he literally financed the operation to turn a private investigator into the Scorpion.
Oh my gosh.
Jonah was behind it. He was behind the Spider Slayers, like which we saw in
Big Time?
Yeah, in Big Time, exactly,
Right.
with Alistair Smythe.
Oh, WWJD.
I know that J.K. Simmons is in the MCU now, but Nick Offerman would have been a good J. Jonah.
He would have been, yeah.
Or a good Omni-Man.
He'd be a great Omni-Man.
I think he'd be very
Although,
good.
honestly, what's his name could be Omni-Man?
JK, he
yeah.
would be a good Omni-Man, yeah. I think a whole cast could be their live action
for sure.
counterparts. Stephen Young might be a little too old.
He's
but
like the same age as Sandra Oh. I mean, he's not actually, but like they're like maybe 8 years between
I want to
them.
be invincible.
Oh yeah,
play
you
him.
could be invincible
I'd
for
play
sure.
Invincible.
Yeah.
Do I look Asian adjacent?
Oh yeah, that's Well, I
kind
don't
of.
think he's Asian in the comics. I think that was a new thing for the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You say kind of.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe a little
I'm telling you, wait it out. Ben Schwartz is getting old. Plastic Man's gonna be waiting for
Booster
you.
Gold just got shelved.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's because apparently the writing for it's very, but that's where we should get in on.
Yeah,
Have your people call our people, Brent.
And by my people, I mean Troy's people.
I want his people to be your people, though.
What do you mean his people?
We need to get the media behind us.
Who else we got on this list?
Oh yeah, the only thing I want to add about Tombstone is he's essentially the second main character in this. Like, yeah, you're following his journey same time as Peter. It's a total reimagining. Like Tombstone's much older than Spider-Man in the comics. He's a contemporary of Joe Robertson, who was the editor of the Bugle and was like a guy who bullied him. So like to make him Peter's age and have him go on this journey with Peter was really cool.
Yeah, that was great. He gets kicked off the football team. He's trying to like come in and step up for his little brother, which was sweet. You know, like he had his own little character development going. I don't really know much Tombstone before this anyway,
Neither
but
did I
mean, it's also like morbid name. Like
Tombstone. Yeah.
I don't want that to be.
But you see, he kind of likes not having the responsibilities of being the football player.
Yeah.
He kind of likes being a gangster.
Yeah. That's another 50 Cent song.
It's like instead of
say you're a gangster,
right, because that's a much better 50 impression than what I did.
Well, because I wasn't trying.
You sound just like 50 Cent.
I wasn't trying. Close your eyes. And I'll just start playing it from my phone. Don't I sound just like it? I also can do music with my mouth.
Or die trying.
Oh, God.
Okay, next up, we have Daredevil. He's not even really in the show that much. I just love him so much.
Fan service. I
love him so much.
Jingle the keys. And
I was all for it.
Who was his sidekick at the end?
Finesse.
I don't know who that is.
I was surprised. I didn't know who that is either. I had to look it up because his sidekick in the comics, a recent character, is Blind Spot. And so
fucked up.
I thought it was a gender and I know, and he's not even blind. It's even more fucked
Matt
up.
every day is like, hey, can we talk about this again?
Objects in mirror appear way
I got a whole list
closer.
of names. I could go by Braille, Kane, handicap parking.
You should see his other sidekick, Deaf Voice. Don't do it.
I was like, what? Now watch this try.
It's just Magneto. It's fine.
Yeah, she was an intern the whole time, infiltrating Oscorp, and that's probably how Matt knew about the stuff that was going on when he was trying to stop.
Exactly. There were 3 interns. There was her, Cho, who's one of the more major.
You said he had some significance. What's Amadeus Cho from?
So he's from the Hulk. So he becomes the second Hulk after Bruce Banner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he figures out. I forgot exactly how, but he takes over after Bruce. He's considered the 8th smartest person on Earth. So that's actually a question I had for you guys. Who do you think are the 7 smartest people on Earth ahead of him?
Okay. 1, I'd say Bruce Banner. 2, Tony Stark. 3, Shuri. Reed.
Reed is also number 1 in this ranking. So we're basically figuring out who 2 through 7
Okay,
are.
1, Reed. 2, I say Bruce Banner is smarter than Tony Stark.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've one. I agree, but I've one ahead of Bruce.
Who?
Doom.
Oh, okay. So Reed, Doom.
Yeah, Reed, Doom, then Shuri.
Doom, Shuri, then Bruce.
Then I'd say Bruce. Yeah.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tony.
5 Tony.
6. Who would 6 be?
Oh, they also say who 7 is. So I know. So we just have to figure out who 6 is.
Oh, who's 7?
7 is Hank. Hank Pym.
Hank Pym. Damn, that's what I was gonna say was 6.
Yeah.
We don't think Doctor Strange is in this lineup?
He's not like a Jew. He's a mystical master.
He's a sorcerer. He's a surgeon.
If he's magical, he can't be smart.
So would you say 6 is?
That's a great question. I'm trying to think.
Not Charles.
Nah.
Not Franklin. Not Hank. Beast.
Oh yeah, you know what? Let's say Hank McCoy
Because he's like Illuminati,
right?
right?
Yeah, he's a genius.
Yeah. So okay,
I love that's a great call.
Yeah. All right.
McCoy.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, so we don't even know. We're just guessing and saying we're right.
Yeah, no, but I think we're right. We have a platform.
That one I want to Google.
Brent is God. I will listen.
My iPad's dead, so I can't Google it. Keeping up with our tradition.
Yeah. All right, so our rankings are
Reed, Doom.
Yes.
3 was Shuri. 4 Banner. 5 Tony. 6 Beast. 7
Hank Pym.
8
Amadeus Cho.
Cool.
I love it.
I think that's a pretty good ranking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell from the high octaves.
Amadeus.
Oh, Amadeus. Are you Googling
what is it? Top.
We said Shuri, and look what's happening.
8.
Top 10 most famous characters in the Marvel universe.
Smartest characters.
Smartest.
Most famous.
Top 10 most.
Number 1, Spider-Man. Number 2, Miles Morales, Spider-Man. Number 3, Ben Reilly.
Top 10 smartest
Marvel characters.
Okay.
Let's see. I think we've nailed it.
Yeah.
Top 10 smartest. Okay.
Top 10
literally. Okay. Oh, Marvel
Okay, Dave.
official 10 smartest.
Oh.
This is
What we got there, Paul?
10 is T'Challa.
Okay.
9 is Amadeus Cho.
We were given poor information.
8 is Henry McCoy.
Beast, nice.
Yeah, 7 is Riri Williams.
Oh,
Interesting. That's
Six-
a new
That's
list.
a new list.
Yeah, 6 is Hank.
Okay.
5 is Valeria Richards.
Okay.
4 Bruce Banner. 3 Tony Stark. 2 Reed Richards. 1 Lunella Lafayette.
What?
Who is that?
Sounds made up.
Yeah, that's
fuck is Lunella
That's the
Lafayette?
person who wrote this.
And what is me? Lunella Trump.
Trump. Okay, first of all, I want to say Oscorp, good guy, came to Trump Tower the other day. He wanted to open a border. I said, you want to open up a border?
How is Dewey not on that list?
She's Moon Girl. She's like a 13-year-old super
Oh, that's
genius.
that Disney Plus. Our list was all right.
Oh yeah, no, because that's all right. We're never looking up anything again. I'm throwing
I'm
out
sick
my
and
phone.
tired of them including Dr. Doom on these lips, these lists, on these lips.
On these lips,
I want
okay.
Dr. Doom included
Okay.
on my lips. He's
I was waiting for Travolta. You said your lips.
yo, you gotta save him. You gotta build to him.
I don't do lips. I just do dick.
Yo, what was that? My spider sense is tingling. Funny thing about my spider sense is it's
Starts in
located
my
down there.
Like I got one web shooter.
Yo, your head, it's not located in my hands.
With great power comes a great amount of baby oil.
Yo, I got a place for you to shoot those webs.
Spider-Man, like, I got an extra bed at home.
Like, oh my God, he's like a saint.
Homecoming, what?
You know what's also weird? I feel like webs are like if you have a spider web, a cobweb in your house, right? You just kind of like do this and get it off. Like I feel like Spider-Man when he's like choo choo, they like stick and they're like stuck and they're freaking like this. And I'm like, but
Yo, web
can't you
anywhere,
be
just
like-
don't web the hair.
just be like and get it off.
Well, he made it specifically with textile strength.
Oh,
And they last, what, an hour? They disintegrate after an hour?
Yeah, that's how Norman figured out like who it was
They, like,
because he's
rip
like
it
only
off.
4 people could have come up with something so intelligent.
But, like, yeah, they can rip it off.
but he's only number 4, 5.
Well, he knew there were 4 people
Oh, he's not even on
like
the
that
list.
age
Oh, yeah.
in the New York area,
Right.
that could have come up with something like that.
Oh, so now we have to go by area code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was sort of the genius of him in the comics. Because, like, I grew up with thinking... Because I grew up with Toby, so I
Yeah.
just thought he got bit and he had organic webs. But it's not until you go back and you read the comics that sort of shows the prowess of his intellect. 2 things that get overshadowed in the MCU is how strong he is and how smart he is. He built his own web shooters.
Yeah.
and he also has the strength of a spider, which is 10 times his body.
Oh yeah, when Tony's like, "Hey, Cap would have leveled you if he wanted to," it's like, no, he wouldn't have.
No, he probably would have killed him.
Yeah,
right?
Cap's just like some dude. He's like Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
fight. He's just a buff dude. I'm
like
going
a
to take you
soldier.
down. I did not see that coming.
Where you from, Kent? Brooklyn, Queens.
Yo, what
You
was
are
that?
spirit kids. I hate when Travolta comes. He comes every time you say Queens. That is America's ass. Don't say it again. He gets all weird and starts smelling it.
I'm so jealous of you, Peter, because you're so scrawny and you don't look anything like me. I want to look like you.
He could do this all day.
Maria, see, I'm being self-deprecating. Please take me back.
My son is in White Lotus.
Is he?
Yeah.
Patrick.
And he's such a little asshole in it.
Oh, I haven't started the new
Oh
season
my
yet.
God, he's such a dick.
Last 2 characters. Scorpion, we covered off on him, and Otto.
Otto was
Why did I say
best.
Otto?
Whoa. Yo, he was like the coolest rendition I've ever seen of Otto Octavius, man. Whoa. I like to let him keep his sunglasses.
I did this
in
to
prison.
myself.
But what was the weird blue thing? Was that just a reflection?
Yeah,
in
it's
his
just a
sunglasses?
reflection.
That was stupid.
I guess Doc Ock got cataracts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only
It's his-
character
it's
that's
his,
exactly the same.
It's his
Same.
readers.
Yeah, it's his readers.
He's gonna do that. He's getting old.
Ted Bundying himself, representing himself in court.
Number 1 or number 2?
I thought he was the coolest addition, like, as you said, straight from the books to page, but like that's kind of how Otto should be. Every time Alfred Molina was the best adaptation of Otto, other than Defoe's Goblin, like how to reinvent the character. But the way they did him in the show was perfect.
Totally. He's ostensibly the villain that they're going up against. And that sequence when like he's being raided by the government.
Oh, that was so good.
So cool.
Yeah,
He's
was there
dancing.
7 seconds of valor worth it?
Oh yeah, that was great. I
Right?
didn't expect him to get out of there so like easily.
Just to get caught by Tony.
I know.
Yeah,
And it was like Jaws too, the way the arms were coming out but never
Yeah.
attached to him.
Yeah.
I liked the ending too, with him sketching the arms up on the jail cell. I mean, like the end was very much.
Don't Don't his arms come back to him like in one of the
Yeah.
movies or
Oh wow.
something?
You know that was that's from a comic book you read, Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh my god!
Oh,
wow.
yeah, that's-
Whoa.
Osmosis, it's working.
Yeah.
I'm no longer severed. I'm full nerd.
Quick! Who's Gwen Stacy?
I can't remember.
Well, if I had to make predictions, is that the characters?
Yeah, it's characters.
So I know we'll go into the story and everything
Yeah.
too, but like if I had to make,
I don't think we really need to react. Yeah, I mean we can. Yeah, I don't. I
Well,
think we just dive
we
into
could,
the
we could break
discussion.
it
Yeah.
down by best scenes.
No,
Like,
I
I think the truck chase was dope.
No,
with the
yeah, I think we
Russian
could just
bitch.
dive into the discussion. Yeah.
Yeah,
what was the truck chase?
with the Russian bitches and
Oh yeah.
with
yeah,
Rhino?
I forgot about that. 'Cause that happened early
that
on.
was Travis Willingham.
Who's he?
He's like a famous voice actor, also known for voicing Colonel Roy Mustang.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. He was the Rhino?
He was the Rhino. Yeah.
I thought that the Rhino is one of those characters that they just never get right. They might get him right this time.
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
was
god,
very-
they got him
he was-
very wrong and Craven.
Oh god.
He was great in this. I know.
And it sucks because that actor is very good.
So
I forget his
good.
name.
Alessandro Nivola.
Yeah, Navola.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
Dicky
good.
Moltisanti.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Yeah. Wow. That
Yeah.
guy's been around a minute.
Yeah,
he's
he's
just
good.
getting the worst roles and everything, or like just the worst portrayal of someone.
When the Brutalist, he was also in the Brutalist, and he said, "The Brutalist is the top earning movie this weekend. Craven Hunt suffers 82% drop," and he tweeted, "I don't know if I should have a gummy or celebrate."
Both.
That's how I would celebrate.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
You combine the two.
I would say the way this ends is Norman is by the end of season 2 going to start developing Goblin tech. We'll have a fully integrated Gwen Stacy in season 2. Season 3, he'll be Goblin, and then he'll kill Gwen Stacy. We will get, like we always do, a dick tease of the Sinister Six, which nobody gives a shit about, but they're building it.
Stop trying to make the Sinister Six happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Never gonna happen. It was in one story in the 80s. Even in the 90s show, they were the Insidious Six.
In the 80s, they weren't even they were the Sinister Syndicate.
They're like, let's keep changing the name, and it just keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
You're like, it's not the name's problem.
That Judah Friedlander.
Why did you say
30
that
Rock.
name?
You missed it. They kept rebooting the Hulk, and it kept getting worse. I think we obviously are gonna get Venom, or they're gonna keep teasing
Yeah.
Venom. Which
Well, yeah, because that little symbiote
yeah, the
dropped
thing.
down that
So
little
that
slug.
well, you didn't like.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like the noise.
I didn't like the noise.
That's what they start like.
What did you think of Doctor Strange, Avengers Endgaming Peter into getting the spider at the end with the time jump and everything?
I kind of fuck with it.
Dude,
thought
that was
fine.
dope.
Yeah, I
That
have
was
to.
perfect self-contained storytelling.
I love a good time loop.
Yeah, it was a nice like full circle, which
Yeah.
is what Doctor Strange does.
I was gonna say,
What's up? Give us a dab.
does he go in time often though? Strange.
Well, he's got the time. Well,
Did it happen on purpose? I thought it was when the symbiote hit him and then he got knocked back, and that's what the portal did.
Well, he had the time stone, so
Yeah.
I think So I think he didn't mean to go back in time. Yes, I think you're right. Something got fucked up.
Yeah, because he hit him in the stone. the
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
with the symbiote tentacles.
Exactly.
Yeah, because he just opens a portal without any destination,
Yeah, it's
right?
like a quick subway that. Well, he knows where it's going.
So he knows that he was going back in time.
No,
when
he
created
probably
it?
knew he was going to somewhere in the middle, away from.
He's like, I don't fucking care. I just gotta get out of here.
Because that's what he's saying to Spider-Man at the end. He was like, I went back in time by accident. Who knows how many people's lives I messed up. And he was right.
Yeah.
Like, he
Yeah.
altered a lot of lives by doing that.
Yeah,
But it's
but-
also what he had to do.
But that's what created Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it all worked out.
Oh, can I bring up my one beef with the show? Because I
Please.
loved it's the fact that when Nico finds out that Peter is Spider-Man, she's like, "You're my best friend. We've always told each other everything. How could you keep this from me, bruh? You've known him for 6 months."
Thank you.
Hey, you said that too.
You said that
Thank you. Yes. I was like, what?
Right?
I thought these people knew each other since like grade school.
You're like, I'm
watching the
taking
last-
crazy pills.
She was like from day one. I was like, didn't they just
Day one of freshman year.
Yeah.
That was so lame.
I've known like comics.
I would consider Brent a day one, and we've known
Yeah.
each other, what, like
8 years.
But
Like, yeah.
and
Yeah.
like by most life day one standards, that's not a lot of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, day one of high school. Like
6
what a
months?
lame ass thing. Like she really had no friends.
We tell each other everything. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, first off,
Clearly
like,
not Shrek.
his basically his dad just died. He got like these crazy powers. Like, yeah, what's he supposed to do
Yeah,
there?
they're only in like second quarter. It's not even like Christmas break yet. Like, you don't know each other.
Yeah.
If someone kept a secret from me for just a few months, like, I would be like, oh, especially one that big.
That's a
It's
big
warranted.
Yeah, also, and that's such a good point. Most people don't even stay friends with the people they meet their first semester of high school or college.
Yeah, let me tell you a secret that's going to put everyone I love in danger. My Tumblr password is I am Spider-Man 420, period.
We go way back.
42069.
Nico, what was your last name again? Oh, yeah, I'm Spider-Man. Nico, who I have one class with and sometimes hangs out with me after school and doesn't have parents.
And I'm confused about her sexuality.
Yeah.
She also didn't tell him that she has magic powers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why at the end she's like, yeah, we'll tell each other everything, and then grabbed her little purple stone necklace. And I'm like, oh my, you're so dramatic, Nico.
I know.
Get a new name, get a new friend.
Yeah.
Freshman year.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that?
You're not even going to be friends when you graduate.
Well, we know Ned Leeds is coming because we saw his name. Like,
Oh, I didn't see it.
yeah,
Wait,
Ned,
what?
the two names I recognized on the list that Harry was sending. Like, hey, sign up for like my program.
For web?
Yeah, one was Ned Leeds, the other was Max Dillon, aka Electro.
Oh.
I love Electro because that's one of the.
I love
early ones.
Electro. She is the
I
best
love
thing that
Electro.
happened in this country.
Well, look at you.
Very good.
Do a little JFK.
Yeah.
Do a little JFK.
Do you know JFK, Brian?
Just a little bit.
Did you notice the actor from Severance, Dylan G, is Clev in this show?
Yes, well, because
He was in Shang-Chi and he was in Spider-Man Homecoming, I believe.
So
I knew this man's picking up
cool.
what I'm picking up.
It was so cool.
Was it Homecoming he was in where they was like
Do a
doing
flip Spider-Man?
Yeah. That was cool because we were watching it. I was like, that looks like Dylan G. And then he was filming and I was like, wait, that's Clev.
And Pete Holmes was behind him. It was crazy.
Your Audi is friends
Irving
with
G came
Spider-Man.
about. He's like, I don't think this is part of Oscorp protocol, Spider-Man.
Wow.
Oh my god. Why do I have a crush?
Christopher Walken is synonymous with Spider-Man now because of our first episode, but also every time I watch Severance, I'm thinking about him like, he's crazy. He's climbing those walls. Wow, this power.
Yeah, that's my husband.
Where
Forget
are
about
going?
him. He's an old fuddy-duddy.
Fields, he's a nobody.
Fields is a nobody. He's a nobody.
You and me, just you and me, Fields, or just you and me?
Yeah, where are you going, Irvin?
We're going, Ivan. Someplace Oscorpic.
We like wine.
We like wine, expensive. I thought Norman. The problem with Norman Osborn is you can't accept him as a good guy because it's like looking at Jack Napier and going like, who's he going to be one day? Like Jack
It's like
Napier's the
looking at
Joker.
freaking Jeff Bezos or any like conglomerate.
Yeah.
Like,
Honestly.
Yeah.
Even at the end, I liked Peter. Not like I liked Norman didn't go to like jail. He just kind of showed that he was in hot water.
Yeah.
So Peter sort of had to make a choice of like if he's going to align himself with a guy with the values of Norman Osborn. I think that shows a lot of his character. And then, like something happened where he wasn't able to go back. He made the physical choice to say, I'm not going to align myself with this guy. I have Harry. I have Nico. Was trying not to talk through a burp.
Yeah, it was painfully obvious.
I'm sorry. I'm going to cut to you guys when I'm editing that. I thought that it shows you more, like, obviously he's going to have lost Spider-Man. It adds to that whole, what we've always said, Norman is so jealous and hateful of Peter because it was his spider that created it, which I thought they did a very good job with tying that all through. Now,
Does he know that? He
will-
can't.
He
will.
He will. In this context, I'm not sure.
Because he got it from Peter when they got the blood sample.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but like he doesn't know that Doctor Strange like went back and
No,
did all that.
he doesn't know that. It's
Yeah.
very.
And
I
Peter
know.
doesn't even know what happened.
No, Peter still doesn't
So
know.
we
what
are the only people who know.
Yo.
Just us three.
Oh, I guess Peter does know. At the end, he did say to Doctor Strange, like, if you didn't go there that day,
That's
that was
true.
the day I wouldn't become me. So I guess we saw Peter off screen must have figured out. Because he sees Doctor Strange, he's like, you were there that day in school. Doctor Strange, like, I don't know who you are. And then Doctor Strange sees him when he goes back and he's like, good save, kid. But he didn't really say anything to him.
Yeah.
So Peter in that time must have surmised when he asked Doctor Strange, he went back in time when they were sitting on the scaffold.
Well, because he felt the bite. I guess, yeah, you put the pieces together.
Yeah.
The itsy bitsy spider goes down
Yeah,
the water
yeah.
spout.
I love what they did with Harry in this too. The fact that he
What'd you
isn't.
like about it?
Well, just the fact that like so many times in the comics, Harry is subject to his dad's whims, and
Yeah.
he's just always trying to impress him, and his dad is such a piece of shit to him. And in this is Harry really going, "I'm going to be my own man," which is really cool because
Yeah.
it gives him It gives him more depth.
Yeah. And I think if they're trying to probably make it more related to younger viewers by him being like a social media celebrity and like his own kind of thing, and like they're like looking at memes of like him when the downfall at the end.
Yeah.
So like, and then the pressures of that maybe makes it more relatable for people who have not really watched any of the Spider-Man series or anything like that, but. Yeah, I thought it was cool too. He's like he's standing on his own, not really relying on his dad or trying to prove himself.
Question for you two though. Do you think they're trying to set up a Harry and Nico relationship or a Nico and Penny relationship?
Who's Penny?
Pearl, you mean?
Pearl, sorry.
Yeah,
Pearl,
it's okay. It's a stupid name.
Dumb
stupid
name.
Pearl. Pearl had a guy. Na 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 na. You know Dixie Chicks?
Earl?
I know the band,
Earl?
the Dixie Chicks, but I don't know the song. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't expect you. I'm disappointed.
I know, I'm sorry.
You, I'm surprised by.
I had to write a paper about that in sixth grade.
Wow, because Earl had to die?
Shout out Miss Dufresne.
Wow, Miss Dufresne. Mr. Dufresne, you're going to get out of this prison.
I would like to tell you that Norman Osborn shut down that portal that day, but that would have been a lie.
And now I seek redemption.
I think Harry and Nico will end up together because I don't really see a reason for Pearl to be in another season because she was sort of the last line of Lonnie having a semblance of him being Lonnie. And I see the Nico Harry thing working more because there's no MJ in this circle. Like it reminded me very much of the triangle in the Raimi movies with MJ, Harry, and Peter.
Oh yeah.
But in that situation, they were childhood friends that had raised into adulthood. In this situation,
Actual day ones.
Yeah, actual day ones.
And I thought, to your point of like Harry being such a good character, I thought that's what made him such a good character in this versus like, oh, my whole character is I was best friends with Peter and Spider-Man killed my dad, so I'm going to spend 2 movies trying to kill Spider-Man and shoehorn him in as the Hobgoblin at the end and have 3 fucking villains in one Spider-Man movie and just not have it work. I think Harry having his own character, having Webb, it very much felt like a Dan Slott modern Spider-Man plot point. Like, oh, everyone... Even the episodes where he didn't have the suit on, I think there was one episode where he didn't have it on at all, and I was like, I still really like this, and I usually hate that. I like, when I watch Spider-Man, I want to see the red and blue, I want to see him beat up bad guys, he has the coolest villains ever, he has the coolest powers, he's the most relatable, I want to see that. I thought Peter Parker was so well fleshed out, and every character was fleshed out. The only person I could think of that wasn't really used, or was used in like a fridging term, was maybe Pearl, but even she had connections like being Peter's babysitter when she was a kid, and being his lab partner. Everyone worked for the sake of working.
I think she will be in the second season because, like, towards the end, she called him Pete.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you're right. Good call.
I think they're gonna have a little romance, and that's gonna cause a little rift between him and Tombstone, unknowingly.
And that's when they start to
then it's
because
gonna,
Tombstone, we're going to start to see the villainous transformation of Tombstone. I don't know if he's necessarily going to be as outright evil as he is in the comics, because Tombstone in the comics is scary.
I think he could get there. Yeah. I think now, after the other dude freaking like ditched, everyone was looking at him like he's the new leader now. Like,
but do you think he's going to be like a standard villain, or do you think he's going to be like Titan on Invincible, like a guy who's like a villain and a mobster, but he's a necessary evil?
I think like Titan, because I think they're going to continue to tell Peter and Lonnie's stories synonymously, where it's the tale of 2 cities, and I think it adds a lot to their character's depth. I don't see a reason why Lonnie would outright have a beef with Spider-Man, other than that Pearl thing you mentioned, which would.
I think he's gonna go totally dark. I think he's gonna go like totally tubular, dude.
At the end, he throws his jacket away.
Yeah, he does.
You know, and that's him just leaving the life behind. He's lying on the phone saying
because he wants this.
Everything that made him a good, hardworking, like nice guy, he's lost. He doesn't have the football team. He doesn't have his girl anymore. He doesn't really have his family because they don't want to know about the gang relationship and the 110 that he's doing. So he's hiding that. He's lying to everyone. He has no one in his corner. The only person he really has is Spider-Man. But I think that they're going to be on conflicting sides, and that's going to drive them to be like,
and I think
enemies.
He wants. I think all that stuff that you just outlined, the girlfriend, the football, the school, the family, the expectations, he hated all of that.
Yeah, but also like when you don't know what you got till it's gone kind of thing.
Totally.
I think that he's going to look back and be bitter and want revenge on everyone that like he think wronged him.
I think it's a cool theory, but I actually think he's going to be
I'm
really...
just doing this for the receipts, Brent. I want to be right like you, Dad.
I think he's going to be really addicted to the power. I think he loves the respect that he's getting. I think he really likes the community aspect he's getting from guys like Bulldozer. Like,
Yeah. So I think he's going to be evil.
Evil! I think we should make him eat dirt. That was a dirty bubble reference.
Yeah.
That's not my wallet.
That was good. That was a deep cut. Woo. Wow.
I thought I thought this was like I watched this like 3 episodes at a time. I thought that was the best way to like digest it. I watched it week to week for the first couple, and then I was like, because it was like almost like chapters. You had the first 3 where it was him coming to getting the powers and the suit and everything. Then you had the second 3 with Norman, and then you had the back 3 with Scorpion, Doc Ock, and then the epilogue, the last episode. I thought was. Usually I hate when they're shoehorning everything in the last 8 minutes to tell you, hey, get ready for what's coming next. But I thought this did such a good job with it. It was perfect superhero storytelling. I also just design-wise, I hated it in the trailer, but they executed it so well. The panels. The panels were so great.
So great.
It was such
That one when it was Spider-Man and Tombstone.
when their faces split at the end.
Yeah.
So that's what made me realize that's probably how they're going to keep telling this story. Like a good and evil thing where it's not all just focused on Peter. And that's kind of like why the 90s show had to fall back on so much narration, because it was really, you have these large chunks of the show where it was just Peter. And if he wasn't narrating what was going on, it'd be very hard to tell visually. The best animated Spider-Man show, I would say, is Spectacular Spider-Man. And that's the fan-revered one. But at this one, I would put it a close number 2 in. If I had to like give it top 5 Spider-Man cartoons of all time, I'd say the animated series at number 5, Marvel Spider-Man at 4. It leaves option for 3, 2, 1.
Are these only animated series?
Animated, yeah.
So we're not talking about the 70s or the Japanese Spider-Man who had the machine gun?
I don't know. I was going to say I was going to put that at 3. I was going to ask you for permission to put that at 3 because I think that's pretty based, man. I don't know if you ever saw that.
What the hell is that called?
Japanese Spider-Man? Oh,
What the hell is
legit.
he
He's got a machine gun. He don't shoot webs. He shoots Glocks.
He shoots bullets?
Yeah. That's the Spider-Man that was walking around Hiroshima in 1945. He didn't get bit by a spider. He got dropped on a radioactive bomb. And then 2, I'd put this, and when I put Spectacular, like, and I'm gonna go back. This like made me, the way No Way Home reinvigorated my love for Spider-Man and made me start reading comics and watch all the movies and shows again. Like, I'm gonna go back and watch all the Spider-Man shows now that I've watched this. This is like, I love Spider-Man.
Oh,
yeah, I
dude,
was gonna say,
he's my favorite.
What's your favorite Spider-Man? Like how he's portrayed. And just animated stuff. It could be a movie or a show.
Anything?
Yeah, like who's your favorite? Because I really liked this Peter Parker. I thought he was like very Tom Hollandy.
Yeah.
I thought he was very like innocent. They stayed true to who Spider-Man is, like very high school.
Yeah.
You know, like I felt like he was a kid, whereas other things I'm like, oh, he's a little too mature. Like I don't think.
It was Garfield, but honestly, it might be this. I think this nailed it. The 2 things I want to harp on, make sure I mentioned before I forget that I just absolutely loved about the show is 1, they included a lot of villains. Obviously, they included Doc Ock, Scorpion,
done included
Chameleon,
villains.
Exactly, main villains.
Chameleon, that was Chameleon.
Major. But then also like lesser known villains that I never thought I'd ever see. Like first off, I never thought Tombstone would get like about like this level of like recognition. But also like Speed Demon was included. The unicorn.
Oh, they were in the 3rd episode, right? When they were
exactly the unicorn. I mean, what?
That was, I didn't know them, obviously, but...
I didn't know Unicorn was a villain. I assume that's who Rhino's going to get his tech from and then be Rhino.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Well, Unicorn is the Russian girl that broke him out.
Yeah, exactly. But then also to circle back to what you said earlier about like favorite adaptation, a lot of people love, I think his name is Josh Keaton.
Yeah, he was Spectacular, right?
Yeah, and he's the one who voices Richard in
At the
this.
end?
At the end.
Okay, so I was going to ask you about that. What's the deal with Richard Parker? Why is he in jail?
I have no idea. It's a completely new take on Richard Parker because in the comics, in the 616,
is he SHIELD?
He's a CIA agent, and him and Mary, they're spies, and they
died in a plane crash, right?
By the Red Skull.
Oh, it was Red Skull who did it.
Brings them down. In the Ultimate Universe, he's a genius microbiologist, and he's working on...
created the symbiote with Eddie's dad, right?
Exactly, and so Bolivar Trask sends them down. And they kind of do a version of that where you think Richard actually survived, and it turns out it was a clone created by Doc. We read that comic by Doc Ock during Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah,
he helped with the symbiote stuff? Do you think they're trying to do that version for this with the little...
I don't think so because in the Ultimate the symbiote is
right?
exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang. Yeah, I don't know. That was a really weird, like, last little drop.
Yeah, the only other time I could think where you saw him portrayed in any media outside of comics was in that deleted Amazing Spider-Man 2 scene where you see his dad at the end of the funeral, right?
And is there other versions where, like, May knows he's alive? Because I feel like May is always, like, so transparent with Peter. Like, it's kind of weird that she's hiding that. She's like, I gotta go for errands, aka go to jail, talk to your dad. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, I wonder if Peter knows where his parents are.
I think he thinks they're both dead.
Yeah, that's what I was
never went
figuring.
into it, really, right? He didn't really talk about it.
And you don't see tension between Richard and Mary. Richard and May, so you kind of think that maybe he's incarcerated, falsely.
Yeah. What was the picture?
I think it was Peter,
Peter, right?
And Ben.
Oh, that was him, Ben, and Peter.
Oh, okay.
I think it may Ben and Peter.
May Ben and Peter.
Yeah, okay. That was weird. He just like slid it. How's my boy?
Yeah.
Like, what do you have? What? Why are you giving it back?
And this is the first time in MCU Spider-Man's acknowledged Ben. Like, we know he existed in the MCU, but like in No Way Home, Toby and Andrew talk about Ben.
Yeah.
But Tom never really talks about him.
Because May was his Ben, essentially.
Exactly.
I don't even think they really need a Ben because they did it so well in No Way Home. Like that puts a rock in my throat every time I think about it. That scene was perfect with May. You know, is that what the Goblin told you? Yeah. Great power, great responsibility. Once you heard her say "with great," remember I saw that in theaters with you, No Way Home, and I was like, "She's gonna die."
Yeah.
And when Toby says it to Tom, and he goes with great power, it comes great responsibility. Tom's like, "How did you know that?" And then it cuts to Andrew, and he goes, "Uncle Ben said it."
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Oh, I got it. I also loved Lonnie stopped him from killing Scorpion the same way Toby stopped Tom from killing Goblin in No Way Home, where he grabbed the glider.
Mr. White. That's crazy.
But yeah, who's to go back to Slady's question, what's your favorite version of
that? It's interesting because I want to say Tobey Maguire because that's who I grew. It's so hard because
I was thinking just animated.
Animated
definitely in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I would put this, and then if I could include the video games, I would say Insomniac Spider-Man because he. I love adult Spider-Man. I grew up on Spider-Man PS1. I love maybe it's because I've seen Spider-Man in high school my whole life. I like knowing what does he do in his adult life. And by adult, I mean 24 to 30. Sometimes he gets married to Mary Jane.
Oh God!
My stepdad just stuck in the dryer.
Spider-Man when he was from Alabama. I love an adult Spider-Man where he's been doing because figure he started in Ultimate. What was he like 14?
Yeah, 15.
Yeah. So if he's 25, he's been doing this for 10 years. The Insomniac game I liked because they had a Mysterio, they had a Scorpion. The only villains that they were really introducing for the first time were Doc Ock, Mr. Negative, Venom, and Kraven. And all those I think work for an adult Spider-Man. And the other ones he can sort of grow up with. But to Brent's point, I would have to say this one embodies everything that I love. It's like what I love about Tom Holland. Tom Holland to me is a perfect Peter Parker, and he's a perfect Spider-Man.
You like him more than Miles Morales in No Way Home? Or?
Yeah, in Beyond the Spider-Verse? Yeah. I like Miles's character. I love Miles's arc. My problem with Miles is he's still in his infancy, so pretty much every iteration of Miles is the same story, where Miles is coming in after Spider-Man, Miles learns about the Prowler, Miles has his destiny in front of him, and then Miles decides he wants to be Miles.
Yeah.
That's how every story of Miles has been for years, and I'm not faulting that. Miles is still, the fact that most people know who Miles Morales is,
awesome.
I love,
so awesome.
and I think it's so cool, but they still need to push him out.
Totally.
We're seeing what happens when audiences know a character as long as they have Peter Parker, where you don't have to do the Uncle Ben thing. You barely have to show you ever got bit by a spider. It worked in this show because it obviously ties into the last episode.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was so quick. They hit all the notes that you had to do, but they didn't spend much time showing you again. Because
everything happened.
No, the people that are watching this know.
Yeah,
just give us the stuff.
Yeah.
Give us some new shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. The soundtrack was freaking killer.
So
it was very cool. I like modern soundtracks and stuff like this. And a lot of the
Yeah.
time companies won't do that because they want their Danny Elfman or John Williams theme to be synonymous, whatever they're swinging into. MCU doesn't really have that. The Avengers movies kind of have their theme a little bit, but nothing really else does. I like when they put modern music in a thing. Black Panther, amazing soundtrack with all the Kendrick Lamar stuff. I thought, and the theme song was like, here we go, here we go.
It's weird that DC is doing only Drake stuff now.
I found a way. I found a away.
Drake on
Different Drake.
Sung by Jim.
But we were talking about that
We
one
were. No, it's a
before.
good callback.
They not like us, Peter.
Oh, you know what? All the Drakes are problematic. Okay.
Not Tim Drake.
Drake.
Drake, we like him. With any other last thoughts on Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man?
No.
Your friendly. I rate this show a Into the Spider-Verse Part 1 on a scale of Amazing Spider-Man 2 to Across the Spider-Verse.
That's high praise.
Yeah. I put it right Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
Right in the
I'd put it right
crack.
around
I'd
there
say
too.
like
yeah.
8.5, almost a 9.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 9.
It's a Nazi joke.
It's a Nazi.
I give it 5 Brents.
Yes. That's all 5.
I give it 2 nipple rubs.
Oh, man.
And if you want to hear us talk more about Spider-Man, Nightwing, whatever else we're going to be talking about, Kirby Tear, we're going to play a little Ultimate Spider-Man 2. Subscribe to Kirby Tear, follow along with us here. Until next, what's our next week's book?
Bone Part 2.
Bone Part 2.
Ooh, I can't
Then
wait.
Supergirl.
Then Supergirl.
Oh, we have a lot to read up on. Please, thank you for 35,000 true believers following us along as always. Thank you for those who are subscribing along on Kirby Tier. Until next week, I'm your host, Troy Bond, co-creator.
Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.
And Slater.
I'm done.